What's up guys, JB2017 here, bringing you another Taken King tips and tricks video. And today we're talking all about XUR and what you should consider when buying his exotic items, because all of that logic that we used before has changed since update 2.0. And with the arrival of exotic blueprints and that whole system, we now have to consider more than just the practical question of, is this item useful to my Guardian right now? You know, there's a lot more at play. So let's get into it. XUR's hanging out in the hangar this week, but this information is really relevant to any week. So let's look at first the general format of what he's selling, and it's basically the same. For exotic gear, he sells a legacy weapon. He sells one piece of armor for each class, so 3 pieces of armor, and then 1 year 2 exotic weapon. So the main takeaway here is that all of these are at the baseline exotic level. They're at 280 either defense or attack. But here is the Legacy Engram. This threw off a lot of people the first week. Nobody knew what it meant. Don't be fooled by this thing. Don't be fooled into thinking that the legacy weapon is immediately year 2 relevant. What I mean by that is if you get this and bring it to the Cryptarch, it's going to decrypt at 160 attack, which if we look at my character here, 295, this is the weapon I use in raids. That is not going to cut it. 160 is not going to compare to 295. So basically you're getting a year 1 exotic out of this Legacy Engram. And it will unlock the year 2 blueprint for this item, but you're going to have to pay another 150 marks to unlock that. So really, this is only relevant to new players that don't have a lot of the year 1 exotics. I just looked at my own blueprints, and I'm only missing the Necrochasm, the Mythoclast, and the Hawkmoon because I'm on Xbox, and I have every other, primary exotic, and people have played way more than I have in year 1. So really, the main takeaway here is if you've been playing Destiny for a long time, this Legacy Engram is probably not worth your strange coins. It's 31 strange coins, very expensive, so don't be fooled into that. So let's talk about Curios. The main things here are the heavy ammo synth. This is 1 strange coin for 3 of these, pretty good value there. And then the 3 of coins, of course, this is a new item with TTK, and they nerfed this thing. So rapid ultra kills will not give you the same drop rate as if you actually space out your ultra kills. So that means you can't really farm them anymore, which a lot of people took advantage of, and Bungie quickly fixed that. But basically, this is now relevant only in strikes. So if you wait between uses of this 3 of coin, you will keep that drop rate that we had before. So for example, if you run 5 strikes in a streak in a row to get that streak, better drops and whatnot, you'll have about a 20% chance in an exotic Engram. So that sounds pretty fair to me. That's really the nerf there, and it honestly makes sense. So you can get 5 of those for 7 strange coins. Now, you may be wondering, what's different here, JB? What are you really telling me? Well, blueprints. Blueprints change the system because now blueprint armor re-rolls every weekly reset, every Tuesday morning. And you can use your marks to get better rolls now. So if I got an item from XUR that had a certain amount of, intellect and discipline, but I really wanted a piece that had intellect and strength, then I could actually just go spend some legendary marks and get the better roll of that item. Also, rolls will give you better perks. So let me just show you an exact example of what I'm talking about here. So let's say I want this Helm of Inmost Light right here, and it's got intellect and strength. Say I don't want strength, I want intellect. So that means I wait for the weekly reset, and maybe the reset will give me intellect and strength. And also, let's go into the details here. Say I don't want hands-on. I want some kind of, reloading, or let's say I don't want heavy lifting. Instead of heavy weapons, I want special weapons to give me bonus super energy when I kill minions of the darkness. That's a possibility. That can happen on a weekly reset. So really, what you're doing when you buy exotics from XUR and you get them in your blueprints is you're able to, open up the possibility to getting these rerolls and getting better versions of items that you already have in exchange for legendary marks, which honestly, legendary marks are plentiful. There are so many you can get. So really, that's the new kind of twist to this thing. So I have a friend that can, that basically says buy everything, because if you buy everything, that means you'll have more chances at getting the best roll that you can possibly get to maximize your character. And another little reminder, blueprints are account wide, so don't worry about that. Buy something with your Titan that you need on your Warlock or whatever, it'll still be in your blueprints on that Warlock. So, also, don't buy anything, if you don't have like a Titan, you have 2 Warlocks and a Hunter, don't buy any Titan exotics, because of course you'll just be wasting your time unless you decide to make a Titan in the future. These are just hypothetical examples, but I wanted to be clear with you guys on that. So, I hope you learned something new from this video, and if you did, remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel for continued Taken King coverage. I'm working on more raid guides for you guys. I made it all the way to Oryx, haven't downed them yet, but I'm going to get those guides out as soon as possible. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.